so excited to be doing this sequence for you guys. It's going to be a 20-minute or just about 20-minute full body stretch. And I've been wanting to do this for so long, but I wanted to kind of touch base on a little bit more detailed areas before in previous videos. And now we're here and I can do a full body stretch for you guys. So before we kind of get started, I just wanted to kind of take a second to talk about what's going on. And I didn't think I was going to even touch base on this because it's just been so long that people have been talking about this, and of course I'm going to talk about the coronavirus. Yeah, I wanted to just try to bring some light and some encouragement in this season that can feel very isolating and alone and very fear-based. It's just something that, number one, we cannot control. No matter how much you think you know what's going on, we can't control it. God's in control. The only person that has power and dominion over this is the Lord. And so by us just worrying and panicking and freaking out and hoarding toilet paper, we're not going to change the inevitable. If you have any kind of fear or panic that is taking root within your heart and within your mind, just use this time. Try to just flip the switch in your mind and kind of be thankful for this time that is a forced rest upon you. You are forced to sit in your home with your family and rest and be grateful and be thankful that you do still have your health. You do still have days on this earth that you can be glorifying His kingdom. So are we, wasting our days in a fear and panic? Or are we spending our days uplifting and edifying the body of Christ and just bringing people closer to the Lord? Because ultimately, it's about His kingdom, not our own. So when we set our mind on Him and on His presence, His purpose, it takes the weight off of anything that we have to stress about. Yes, I know that this financially is really hard for a lot of people. Maybe you have small children that you're thinking about, or maybe you have loved ones that you're caring for. And if that's the case, my heart truly does go out to you. I am not making light of this situation, but I am saying that you can come to the Lord with your burden. It says in scripture that His burden is light. It doesn't mean that it's going to be easy, but it means that we don't have to do it alone. So I just hope that that is something that encourages you kind of where you are. Yeah, just let this time be a time of rest, a time of worship and prayer, a time that we can just fall on our face and beg the Lord to just do a work in our nation, do a work in our political party, whatever side you may be on. Just asking God to be the center of it, because ultimately that's all we can ask. That's all that really matters, honestly. So that's all I'm gonna say about it. Really has been just an up and down battle with myself and my family. This is where we've kind of rested upon, is just giving it to the Lord and knowing that we cannot change anything, but we can come to Him with all of our desires and expectations and expect Him to change and do a work within our world. That being said, let's get started. I know that was kind of intense, but I just wanted to kind of encourage you guys where we are. Now I'm just gonna slowly transition to over here. So far away. Okay. Kind of better, but whatever. Just coming to seated neutral position, we're going to just start with a few simple neck stretches and then moving on to the back, lower back, and working our way down. So we're going to release our right ear to our right shoulder and just pausing here if this feels good for you, or if you want a little bit deeper stretch into that left side, you can extend your left hand and just pausing here if that feels good, or you can walk your fingertips out to the left. And then just working in some small, gentle movements, but just be really mindful of your body, just where you're holding any tension, because you don't want to make any sudden movements that could cause injury. And coming up to center, bringing it down to the other side, left ear to the left shoulder. Again, pausing here if that feels good, or releasing that right arm to the right side and walking your fingertips out. Again, just working small movements, whatever feels good for you. Just pausing wherever you feel the most tension and just working that out. Okay, coming up to center, we're gonna interlace our fingers. We're gonna bring them to the back of our neck. Let the weight of your arms naturally bring your chin closer to our chest. Just making sure we're having a tall, neutral spine so that we're not rounded down. We're just really focusing on stretching out the upper portion of our neck. Coming up to center, we're going to do, and I don't have a name for, going to lift our left arm leaning over to the right side, stretching out our left side of our body, just pausing here, and then bringing that left hand down to the right side of our mat, shifting our weight all the way over to the left side, pausing here, and coming up, stretching out our right side of our body. Coming back to center. So doing that 3 or 4 times, whatever feels good for you. And then we're going to switch directions. But before you switch directions, right now I have my left foot in front. As I lean over to the right, I'm going to then place my right foot in front as I lean over to the left. That way you can kind of stretch out and start opening up your hips as well. And switching feet and switching sides. Coming back to just seated position, we're going to do a couple spinal twists. So having a tall neutral spine, we're going to twist our body open to the left side, bringing our right palm to our left knee, and our left hand, just place it behind you. And kind of bend that left elbow just to lean in and get a little bit deeper of a twist. That way my spine is twisting a little bit deeper. I'm just feeling it a lot more. So just do whatever feels good for you. If just twisting open to the side is good enough for you, then just stay there and listen to your body. Not just try bending that elbow and see how that feels. Switching sides, bringing our left hand to our right knee, leaning up to the right side. Then coming back, sitting on the side of your mat, coming up to your knees. We're going to round our back. We're going to press away from our body. And then we're going to interlace our hands behind us, bringing our shoulder blades in towards each other and lifting our gaze, lifting our chest. Working that 4 or 5 times and just pausing, moving slowly, feeling which muscles are stretching, if there's anything that's tight. If you want to kind of add movement into the stretch, I really like to do that as well. Just have fun with it and just move with your body and see how it feels. Seated position, we're going to extend our left leg, keeping our right foot in. We're going to just pause here, really focus on straightening this left leg. We're going to lean with a neutral spine and pause when you feel that resistance underneath your leg. And coming up to center, and then twisting our body open towards that left leg. And again with the neutral spine, leaning over until you feel the resistance. And don't worry about touching your toes. Just be patient with your body. That will come if it hasn't already. And just take your time because you really have nothing to prove to yourself, except that you're committed to yourself, because that's important. And coming up to center, now take our left hand, placing it on our right knee. We're going to extend our right arm above our head and just fold over that left leg and just pausing when you feel that resistance all along your right side body. If you want a little bit deeper of a stretch, you can walk your fingertips over towards that right knee. And again, just pausing and being patient. And just focus on taking deep breaths so that you're really working on opening up your muscles and not holding on to any tension. Slowly coming back up, if it feels good for you, you can again turn your body over to your left leg and folding forward, rounding out your back, and then just resting wherever your arms fall. And switching sides, we're gonna bring our right leg out, our left leg in. Just pausing here with a tall neutral spine. Again, we're gonna lean forward over that right leg, just keeping that right leg engaged, feeling that resistance in your inner thigh. Again, just pausing here for however long, maybe 30 seconds to a minute. I always just like to hold each stretch for at least a minute because I feel like that's what gets the most benefit out of the stretch. If you have time, 2 minutes is perfect, but you really don't have to. Back up to neutral, twisting our body open to that right leg with that tall neutral spine, leaning over, and again, not caring if you're gonna be touching your toe or not. Coming back up, your right hand, bringing it to our left knee, drawing our left arm up and over that right leg, pausing when you feel that resistance. And again, just breathing deeply, being patient and gentle with our body. For you, you can walk the right fingertips over to the left knee and just grabbing hold of that left knee. And coming back up to center, twisting our body over to our right leg, folding over that right leg and rounding out our back and placing our hands down to the ground wherever they fall. And coming back up to center, extending both legs out so you're just in a seated straddle position. We're gonna lean forward with a neutral spine and just pause when you feel the resistance within your inner thighs. And whenever you've held this for about 30 seconds to a minute, just fold forward, rounding out your back. Just resting your forehead, either stacking 2 hands and resting your forehead on your hands, or you can stack pillows or blocks or books or whatever you have. Really allow your muscles to just release in this stretch. See how much it opens up your body and your inner thighs whenever you hold it for a longer amount of time. And coming back up to seated, we're gonna take our right leg, placing it on the bottom, and our left foot is gonna come on top of our right knee, and our knee is gonna come on top of our right foot. So you're in just like a 90-degree angle with your feet, just stacking your legs on top of each other. So if you're not able to get this left knee down, you can place either pillows or blocks like you had before under your bottom. That it elevates your hips and brings your hips higher than your knees. That way you can really rest and allow your knee to fall below your hip, and it just allows you to be a lot more comfortable. If this feels good on your hips, you can stay here, but if you want a little bit deeper of a stretch, you can lean forward with a tall neutral spine and just pause here when you feel that stretch within your hips. And again, you can slowly move side to side, and then coming back up and switching sides. So now bringing our right foot on top of our left knee and right knee on top of our left foot. Again, pausing here if this is good, or leaning forward with that tall neutral spine. And coming up to center, slowly coming out of this because it is a very deep stretch in our hips. We're gonna actually turn sideways in our mat. Bringing this left foot in front, we're gonna work on stretching our hip flexors. We're gonna lean forward, keeping our hips square with the front of our mat, and our left knee is directly in line with our left foot. So again, just if your hips are open at all, just draw that right hip in and draw that left hip back. And then you can shift your weight forward to align your knee on top of your foot. So just pausing here when you feel that stretch all along the top of our thigh, and then shifting our weight back. We're gonna flex this top foot and folding forward over that left leg. Just moving and doing that a few times. So just spending a couple seconds here, and then just shifting our hips back, straightening our leg, folding forward, spending a couple seconds there. So just moving and doing that 5 to 10 times, however it feels good for you. And when you feel like you're ready to stop, then stop. And then coming back to center, we're gonna switch sides and now doing our right leg in front. So again, just placing our right leg in front, making sure that the right knee is in line with our right foot, and just drawing that left hip front. Hips are square with the front of the mat. And then again, just moving through these stretches, however many times feels good for you. I never want to say a specific time because you might be over it and I'm over here really enjoying it. So it's really just whatever feels good for you. And so from here, we're actually going to pivot our body open to the side, just coming into a side squat, just making sure our knee going in the same direction as our foot, just pausing here, stretch all along the back side of our leg, working our way into our inner thigh as well. Shifting, coming through center over to the left side. We're just gonna pause here. With this stretch, we're just always gonna be mindful that our knee is going in the same direction as our foot so that it's never caving in or going out. We're just gonna be mindful of our alignment with our knees just to protect our joints and ligaments. So we're just gonna be working our way side to side, really opening up our hips and inner thighs. And if this feels good for you and you want a little bit more of a challenge or a stretch whenever you switch sides, you can extend that arm up and over, and shifting our weight through center, extending our right arm up and over. And again, just doing this however many times is good for you. And bring your hips up. We're gonna come just to a, oh, you can't see me, just to a standing wide-legged forward fold. We're just going to straighten our legs, just have a slight bend in our knees, just so you don't lock out your knee. Just as we begin opening up behind our knees, moving up to the back side of our leg. And then if you want to point our toes in a little bit, you'll also feel a stretch along the sides of our legs as well. And that is really rare that you stretch those muscles, so it begins to feel really good when you actually take time to do it. And then coming back to center, just gonna fold forward and let gravity really release any tension that we're holding on in our shoulders and our neck, and all the way up to the upper part of our spine. So just hang forward and let gravity really elongate our spine and allow any of the tension just to be released. So I would hold this for maybe like 30 seconds, and when you come out of it slowly because you have been folding forward and all the blood will be rushing to your head. Coming back down to a seated position, onto our right hip, we're gonna bring that left foot over and just placing it on our side, and then try resting that left sitting bone down to the mat as well. So we're going to take our right hand, stay open to the left, placing our elbow onto our left knee, and just using that to have some resistance to twist open a little bit deeper. Again, just pausing here for however long feels good for you. I'm gonna say that so many times, but I don't want you to think that what I do with my body is what you should do with your body, because God made us all different. Be patient with your body and just find joy in learning your own body. So coming back through center, we're gonna change sides. So now leaning onto our left hip, bringing our right leg over, planting that right hip back down on the ground and twisting open to the right. Coming back open to center, turning on to the side of our mat. We're gonna plant our heels to the mat and just bring our knees in towards our chest, close enough to where we can rest our belly onto our thighs, and take our hands and plant them on the bottom of our feet. Walk our heels out away from us. Once we get to a point where we feel our belly is coming off of our thighs, just pause here, and then we're gonna fold forward and just allow your neck and your head to hang in between your knees. And that way you have full support of our thighs, release all of the tension in our shoulders and neck. And then if it feels good for you, just adding a little bit of movement when you're letting your head hang, just see how that feels and hold it again for as long as you like. Come back onto a kneeling position, releasing our hands behind our back, lifting our chest, lifting our chin, and just shaking our head side to side gently. Wow. That is it. I really hope that that felt as good as it did for you as it did for me. And if you do feel compelled and you want to leave a comment or any kind of feedback in the comments below, I do really appreciate them, because right now it's really just me and the Lord. It's me going off the conviction and the guidance that I have from God. Any kind of feedback helps me navigate really what you guys desire from this. Because right now it's just in my conviction not to do yoga and just trying to figure out another way and allowing you guys to just be a part of that journey. So I am really thankful always for this platform. It just humbles me so much that I'm not alone in this thought. Can feel very isolating. I'm just so thankful for your guys' support and love. And I've said that so many times on my Instagram, but I really am. It's such a cool journey that I get to see God's provision and sovereignty, and I get to see it through you guys as well. So yeah, I'm just always so thankful. I just really hope that this in some way encourages you wherever you are in life, going through whatever struggle or trial, encourages you to seek Him and seek His will and His lesson in this, because in every trial there is a lesson that He's trying to get you to learn, even though it's so difficult at times. Just know that you're not alone, and if you ever need any kind of prayer or encouragement, I love getting those prayer requests over on Instagram, and I'll put my Instagram handle below. Wait, I don't know how to do that, but I have heard people say below. On here, I do know how to do that. I'm gonna put it like right here. Yeah, I really love getting those prayer requests, because I genuinely take them so seriously, and it's something that I really am so thankful that we get to do this together, even though we are miles and miles and states away from each other. It's just so cool to see the body of Christ come together in such a unifying way. So yeah, so that's it. See you guys next week.